everyone, how are we all doing? I'm going to be trying something a bit different this time. Usually I slap some cool music on top of my footage and let it play away, but instead I'm going to go through what I did and where I went. Feel free to mute the video and pop on some music if you just want to see some cool visuals and vibe along without the sound of my voice. Let's get to it. First off, I want to say my plans were changed from the get-go. I was originally going to visit El Nido and Coron, but missed them due to severe weather warnings. I replaced these locations with Bohol and Cambugahay. Where I visited wasn't overly touristy and extremely chill, which is exactly what I was looking for. My adventure first started off in Cebu. I was arriving just near the end of a typhoon. I had my umbrella ready, so I explored on foot on my first day. Getting set up with a SIM card, which was as easy as walking into a shop, buying one, popping it to my phone, and signing up to that app. Smart is probably the best SIM you could go with. They've got the best coverage and value for money in the Philippines. I was also in search for a rain poncho, as the first few days were still a bit rainy here and there. Got my teeth checked up, cleaned and x-rayed for 35 Australian dollar dues, which is absolute value for money compared to Oz, which would have cost me an arm and a leg. I rented a scooter the next day to get around and explore more of Cebu. I saw some really awesome waterfalls, palaces, landscape. The process to do so is very easy. All you need is a driver's license. The scooter also came with a phone holder as well, which is very useful as I'm always using Google Maps to kind of navigate my way around places. Renting one as well is very affordable, so I'd highly recommend it if you are comfortable riding scooters. My next destination I headed off to was Siquijor. This was very affordable. It only cost me $20 for the ferry. It didn't take too long. Hey, as usual, when you pop into the docks, you'll get a little bit of harassment from people trying to rent you bikes, tuk-tuks, but hey, it's to be expected. I rented the bike on the same day. First I checked into my hotel. When I came back, went to a really nice chill bar on my first evening. It was a really nice way to start my first day in Siquijor. The next day I ended up exploring waterfalls. I can't stress enough how amazing the waterfalls are in Siquijor. They are some of the best ones you'll ever experience. Make sure to bring a pair of swimmers with you because you'll definitely want to jump in for a bit of a splish splash. Overall, the vibe was very laid back. Siquijor is exactly what I needed after working a busy season in hospitality and all. There was one bar which stood out to me. The bartenders were amazing people with a great vibe, character, and made some really cool drinks. They gave me some amazing recommendations. One was a jungle rooftop cafe and another was a rooftop bar, which was really cool to watch the sunset. I headed off to Bohol. I accidentally caught the wrong ferry. I was very tired when I woke up, and I'd been looking at places the night before, and one of those places was Dumaguete, and for some reason when they asked where I wanted to go, default setting, my brain said Dumaguete, and luckily it wasn't too far out of the way. It was definitely a good kind of unplanned day trip. I was able to drop my bag off in the ferry terminal, which was very good, so made exploring a bit easier. I found a really delicious sandwich slash burger joint, and it cost me like just around $1 Australian to get something to eat. It was great. Saw some local markets as well, and after that I ventured off to Bohol. I finally ended up in Bohol, located my accommodation, and set off to find a bike. I got swarmed by people trying to rent bikes to me at first, but I wanted to just get to my accommodation first. I ended up seeing fireflies, which was absolutely incredible. I didn't have the right equipment to actually capture them because their light is so dim, but I'll pop in some footage which I borrowed. It was incredible. The next day I checked out some beautiful landscapes, overlooking rice paddies, and went to an animal farm for a little bit of animal therapy. Also checked out a cave and caught up with the rolling chocolate hills, which Bohol is so famous for. These are just such a picturesque piece of landscape, which I'd highly recommend seeing when you visit Bohol. I headed off to Cambugahay with no diversions this time. I arrived late at night, got swarmed with people trying to rent bikes, trying to do scooter taxis. I ended up getting a scooter taxi eventually. Only cost me a couple Australian dollars. The island was very quiet. It's a quiet tropical paradise. There was a lot of Spanish ruins and waterfalls, which were just absolutely breathtakingly amazing. I had one cafe I'd always go to every morning. I get the same thing. I'm a creature of habit sometimes, and it was a great place to do my vlogs. I'll definitely drop it in the description because they do some incredible food. I also explored the White Sands Island, which I actually visited twice, once on my own and a second time with some people I met on a ferry when I was coming to Bohol. I actually bumped into them when I was waterfall exploring, funny enough. And then again bumped into them on my flight back, on my flights to Manila. Anyway, my final destination was Manila. I do wish I spent a bit more time here, as it's actually a really, really nice city. I spent most of my time just riding scooter taxis, as I didn't trust myself riding in all the traffic and I didn't want all the kerfuffle. A lot of the times the scooter taxis had back support, so it was great for me capturing pictures on the go. I had a day of not much exploring and just kind of doing a bit of maintenance. And on my last day I explored some Spanish ruins, parks, and also got a tattoo as well, which was very affordable. Then I had to wave Philippines goodbye, and on reflection not a lot went wrong, just a few wrong turns here and there. If you've got a SIM card, you're sweet. Just get a, again, I'll say get smart because it's the best one with the best coverage and affordability. Getting around is very easy with ride apps. Maxim is very, very useful, very popular as well. Or if you've got a driver's license and you're comfortable, rent a scooter. Always make sure to wear your helmet, otherwise they will fine you. And accommodation is best booked through Agoda. You can also get great flight deals on trip.com. Payment, I use a mixture of cash and cards. I use Revolut for my travel debit card. They've got an amazing fraud prevention system with great currency exchange rate. On my routes, I looked at existing itineraries online and also use Rome to Rio. I'll leave all the apps I used in the description. Any questions, shoot me a message.